Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Black Clover. Last time around we had the Wizard King Saw, where Asta and Seke were able to stop a purse snatcher on the black market, and they beat him. Asta caught up to him, and then Seke hit him with his copper motorcycle thing. And they defeated him, got the purse back to the old lady. But the old lady turned out to be the Wizard King in disguise. Although he didn't reveal himself to them. When they left, he basically was like, they look interesting. And then he looked up into the sky and noticed Klaus and Yuno and their colleague Mimosa. And they were escorting this dude named Salim. It's the guy that Yuno beat up in the entrance exam. And Salim is being all sus, and he wanted to go see Yuno's hometown. And so they went back to Hague Village and met up with Sister Lily and the priest and the children. So yeah, that's pretty much where we left off. It's getting kind of sus with Salim. For some reason, I'm exhausted. I don't know why. Like, this is the beginning of the day, but like just before I started recording this, I just started yawning like crazy, so I don't know what's going on. So I may just be tired and low energy in this week's recordings, but I don't know. But I've got some caffeine. I'm sure I'll be fine once I start downing that, and yeah, we'll have at the very least, tired or not, we're gonna have a good time watching Black Clover. So yeah. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure, so let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Black Clover. Here we go. Man, people are sleeping on this shit, man. People are sleeping on this show. It's so good. It's so good. He's so fun. The friggin' Wizard King, Julius Novachrono. He's so cool. He's so cool. I didn't even think about that, you know? I didn't even think about the fact that, the fifth guy got away. It's because it's him. That's so clever. I love he's just a goofball. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see him, like, actually, kicking someone's ass, you know? It'd be like, I don't know, like Dumbledore or something, fighting Voldemort. Did that happen? I don't know. I gotta stop referencing Harry Potter. I don't know it enough. But man, like that, he's just so fun. I don't know why. He's just such a goofball. I really like him. I think it is because, and we said this last episode, I think it is because I just expected him to not be cool. Like, I expected there to be something, off about him, or, there's some secrets or something. He wasn't going to be a good guy. So the fact that he's just a goofball, like, that's just great. I love it. Freaking Salim. It's interesting that in both of these last two episodes, last three technically, but in both of these last two episodes, we've basically, like, both of them had, the person that the boys defeated in the entrance exam, but with two very different outcomes, For Seke, he was able to join the Magic Knights, His magic was still impressive, so he was able to join, it was the green praying mantises, but still, that's a squad. And, after his encounter with Asta again, the two of them kind of became friends. Like, I could honestly see Seke coming back in the future and them actually being friends, I mean, Asta certainly doesn't have any ill will towards him, He just had to knock a little sense into him, and then, hey, they worked together and they caught the guy, And Asta does like the weird motorcycle thing he can create, Meanwhile, Salim didn't join the Magic Knights, and instead just became so bitter. He became so bitter that he wanted to get revenge on Yuno for embarrassing him, I guess maybe it's also the difference of Salim's arrogance is in his nobility. Seke seems to be his own ability, I will say. You know, like, it's, like, I don't think Seke really talks about, like, he doesn't say to, you know, it's not in his inner monologue, like, I am a noble, I am better than the peasants and stuff like that. But Selim does, you know? So maybe that's the difference. Like, we don't even really know where Seke is from. We don't know anything about his home life. All we knew was he does have some decent magic, and he is pompous about that, you know? He is arrogant about his magic, but that doesn't, like, I don't know. Like, it's not anything based on, like, his background, really. So I guess that's why, I don't know, and maybe just because Asta is great at making friends, you know? Asta, he's like Goku. He'll just, like, show up and, which, by the way, I'm just gonna mention, because there's no other place to mention this, but I was on Crunchyroll this morning, on my phone, because I was looking up an anime, see if it was on Crunchyroll. It's not. And I just saw they had a category called From Enemies to Lovers, and the first one there was Dragon Ball Z, and I just thought, it was like, what are you trying to say, Crunchyroll? What are you trying to say? So, I don't know. So maybe, who knows? Maybe Asta and Seke, you know, I'm just gonna immediately, like, quash any ships between Asta and Noelle, Asta and Mimosa, the two haven't even met, and I'm just gonna put all of that down. No. Asta and Seke. Aste, that'll be there, or Seka. Neither of those sound particularly good as ship names, but I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna create a bromance between the two of them. So, but I like, but yeah, it was a good episode. I like at the beginning that, Yuno sends, Asta and Yuno both send money. They both sent money back to Hague Village. I do like that Asta apparently sent more money, and so now Yuno immediately is like, no, I cannot let this happen. I cannot let this stand. I can't let him beat me, you know? And so now he's just going to send all of his money, which is hilarious. Which, I mean, so he got paid before they even had a first mission, basically, you know? So, I guess if everybody gets paid on the same day, so he was paid and then they had their first mission, which was this one. So, I don't know, maybe he didn't get paid as much because he didn't, or I don't know. What are the, I don't know, what is minimum wage for a Magic Knight, you know? Like, are there differences in wages? You know, obviously you have the captains, you have Klaus, who's like the first mate, I guess, you know, the second in command of them, and then you have, you know, the newer recruits like Mimosa and Yuno. So I don't know, is there like a difference in wages? I don't know, considering, you know, at least in the Black Bulls, they get paid in, you know, Scrooge McDuck sacks of gold, I'm assuming, or just sacks of coins. Like, I'm assuming it's not something we're really going to go into, what the wages are of the Black Knights. And I'm kicking stuff under my table. Jiminy. But that was funny. I like that, though. I like that, especially because, was it, not last episode, but the episode before, when we were introduced to the concept of stars, and it's like, we finally have negative 30 stars, and, you know, Golden Dawn, they have 70 stars, and we had that moment of, you know, the superimposed giant Yuno gloating over Asta that he's beaten him in that respect. But now, we reverse that, and we have Asta, you know, big and superimposed, saying he won because he sent more money back to Hague Village, so, it's great. Is funny. And then we had going against the bandits, each with a different element, which was interesting. Yet none of them are as good as his heir, which is funny. Granted, we didn't see, for a second I thought like maybe he could like, you know, like remove the oxygen around the guy's fire. We didn't end up seeing him fight, you know. It ended up being Klaus coming in with the save. But, I don't know, it's something I thought about, because, yeah, if you had that, it's like, air might be a really good one, because, yeah, it's like, I like that, against the guy with the ice, he just had this giant icicle, so, he created this, pretty small, comparatively, spear of air, just chucked it and just destroyed the whole thing, And I like how he says, like, why are you all concerned about size with your magic? It's like, it's true. It's true. I mean, look at, like, you can kind of see that with, like, Seke or even Salim in the entrance exams. Like, they both started with big stuff, like, Seke did this big, circle sphere, bronze sphere around him, while, Salim was doing this, like, crazy thunderstorm, basically. And it's just like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You can do something like pinpoint and like focused, basically, So I like that. And then, he was going against, there was the water guy. And yeah, he just had air around him. But that's the other thing I was thinking. It's like, okay, well, if he is in control of air, could he not just separate the oxygen from the hydrogen in the water, Because that's all water is H2O. Could he not separate the oxygen and the hydrogen? Essentially uncreating water, So then maybe the guy couldn't affect it anymore, basically. I don't know, but I'm not even sure what he did. He just kind of created But he kind of did that, because he created this, air shield around himself, dropped out, and then he was able to launch it back at him. So, and what did he do against the rock guy? I think I missed that part. Yeah, he just broke apart the, he used the air to break apart the rock pillar around him, and then chucked that. Basically, he kind of has he has the ability to sort of mimic a lot of people's powers, which is interesting, So, I don't know. It's interesting. I like the applications of it, because air, I don't know. I sometimes feel like air isn't utilized enough in media. I mean, like, the most I feel like it's utilized is in Avatar, where it's like, especially in, the first one, The Last Airbender, he's an airbender first and foremost. Before anything else, he is an airbender. So he will use that more often. But even in, like, Legend of Korra, it's like, well, there's not many airbenders here. It's like, well, there's Tenzin. He doesn't fight that much. When he does fight, it's awesome. But, and then in, Avatar, it's like, well, it's only Aang, basically. So it's kind of a slept-on element, I feel like. I don't know, like, if I had the choice of element, air would probably be up there, So, but, and just, like, since episode 1, I've been saying, it's like, I enjoy seeing the different applications that Yuno has for his air, So yeah, so I like all of that stuff. Oh, excuse me. And then, yeah, I called it that it was Salim. But we had good moments with Klaus and Mimosa. Klaus being a kind of tsundere, basically. It's like he does acknowledge but he doesn't want to say it, He doesn't want to say it and, like, inflate his ego or anything. So he is kind of keeping it back, but he does somewhat respect him, So I do like that. And I do also like Mimosa's magic, her flower magic, which is really interesting. Which I like that is very different, because it's something interesting with the show that it's like, especially, like, I guess elemental magic is kind of the most popular, Like, we've seen, I think one of the kids has fire, Magna has fire, and then one of the villains here had fire. So multiple people can have fire. Obviously, Noelle has water, but then you stop and then you remember, oh wait, Sister Lily has water, and then one of the villains here had water, and it's like, there's multiple people that will have an element, Like, I would imagine elemental magic is sort of the most common, although we have yet to see someone else with air magic, like But it's interesting that it's like, we don't really have we don't have too much of, like, you know, well, this character has their magic and nobody else in the world has their magic. You know, it's kind of like with quirks in MHA, where it's like, well, you know, this person has this quirk, this person has this quirk, but they're completely different. You know, not many people have similar quirks, with the exception of, like, again, water, fire. They say that it's like there's a lot of fire types. There are a lot of fire type quirks in MHA and stuff, but, you know, you'll have, like, Aizawa with his, like, quirk deactivation eyes and stuff, and it's like nobody else has that, you know? But here it's like it's I don't know. I guess it is kind of similar of like, well, elemental magic is the most used. It's the most I guess used. I lost the lack of a better word, but then you have more specific people. You know, you have more specific magic. Like Yuno, we have not seen another air magic. I guess we haven't seen another bronze magic either, so I guess Seke might be kind of unique. But, and this is the first time we're seeing flower magic, which is interesting. And, again, I like her flower magic just does whatever the hell she wants, basically, you know? Like, the flower wrapped around him, you know, bloomed in front of his face and, like, talked all the truth and stuff. And then she created a flower that created a holographic projection that located where Yuno and Sister Lily were, and it's just like, I don't know what the hell how any of that relates to a flower, but alright, cool, you know? So, still, I like that. And then, yeah, we got acknowledged. The Black Bulls are still 101 stars behind, but they've all now been acknowledged by the Wizard King himself, who's just a goober. He's just out there looking for some fun, looking for some interesting magic. So, but what's going on? What's going on at the end? You know, he's like, he already knows that there's a situation arising. There's some sort of anomaly, and he wants them to go deal with it. I would imagine that means either it means just the Black Bulls, or it means Black Bulls and Golden Dawn, because he wants to see Asta and Yuno work together. I don't know. We'll have to see. And I'll see in like 5 minutes, because I'm going to watch the next episode, which is nice. But for the rest of you, it'll just be 2 days. Or if you're watching in the playlist, it'll also be 5 minutes. So yeah, really, really good stuff, and I'm excited to see where we are going next time. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Black Clover reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.